Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. My name is Matt. It's armor testing day. I forgive any background noise. The neighbors are getting, I think, some loads of dirt, maybe some asphalt. But I have a level 3A panel to test today from Tactical Scorpion Gear. This is their rigid 3A panel. It's 8.6 millimeters thick, or 340 thousandths. It weighs 1 pound, 3 ounces. I forget what I actually shot against it one day, but it already has one strike against it. It is multi-curve. If I had to make a guess, it is 100% through and through polyethylene. So since this is level 3A, we shoot at 7 to 10 feet. We also shoot at 0 degrees because that is worst case scenario. I use a clay briefcase filled with a non-hardening clay behind it. That acts as a compressible media for the body armor to act against, and that is, worst case scenario. The NIJ allows for 44 millimeters. It's 80 to 85 degrees outside today, and we can't, get that clay up to 100 degrees to actually certify it. So again, it's just a representation. I use a chronograph whenever possible because we need to capture that velocity of that bullet. It is a Pro Chronopal chronograph DLX. I put a summary spreadsheet here at the beginning that foreshadows all the different threats that we're going to shoot at it, and at the end I fill it in and we double check to make sure that if we had a penetration, that it is indeed a penetration. I'll have to look back at my videos and see which particular round I shot at that plate. I wonder if it was a 5.7 round. But to start off, we're going to shoot some 9mm loads at this plate. I've done a lot of 3A testing today, so I've consolidated our threats into what I feel is the worst case for this plate, and that's our 16-inch ARV9 from Palmetto State Armory. We have 2 loads. We have a Liberty Civil Defense. This is a 50 grain all copper load, and then we have L7A1. This is a 124 grain full metal jacket load, going pretty darn fast for its bullet weight. See where we can put these on this particular plate. This should be the upper corner, right corner. Almost 1475 from that guy. Our second shot will be below that. Now our Liberty Civil Defense will try to be right at the top. Hopefully we don't go too close to the top. Did I play? Let me go check that, folks. All right, my fault. I shot that one way too close to the last shot. We'll try again. That one should be a fair hit, folks. We can't forget about our 5.7 fans. We have American Eagle TMJ. That's the 40 grain standard plinking round that a lot of people can have troubles with. Reliability wise, I think it's because they should crimp the top of the case instead of gluing the bullet in. We have SS198 LF, that is a 27-28 grain OTM with an aluminum core, very, very long bullet. And then we have the 34 grain Black Dragon Fang, that is an all copper segmented round, very, very good performing round. We have an 8-inch Kel-Tec P50. If we get some penetrations on this particular barrel length, we can always step down to the rock, the 5.7 rock from PSA. I brought that today. But like I said, we've been testing all day long level 3A, and these are a good performance indicator for rigid. American Eagle TMJ first, SS198 LF second, and then the Black Dragon Fang will be last. I need to finish up the review on the P50. It should be up where it says like Tactical Scorpion Gear. Then the 198 will be to the left of it. Let me check my shot placement. I apologize for anyone who wants to have all of this unedited so that there's as much transparency as possible, but a lot of times I have to go down and check the shot placement because I don't want to make a misstep or anything, so I try to cut in good spots so that these videos aren't 45 minutes long. We'll place the next round of 198 below that last one. Didn't get a velocity reading off that because I didn't move the chronograph. Then the black dragon fang will be to the right of that, hopefully. Didn't get velocity off that. Son of a biscuit. I don't have a whole lot of these, but sometimes I like to highlight some of these really obscure rounds. Right here I have our white tip SB 193 in 5.7 by 28 millimeters. This current iteration is a 60-61 grain full metal jacket. It has a bimetal jacket, so it attracts a magnet, and the core is lead. The previous model that we tested was a 55 grain full metal jacket, so slightly lighter. I think they went to a heavier round to help aid in cycling some of these actions. I have our Kel-Tec P50 with a Kestrel 22 on it. This is subsonic, so it should be going under the speed of sound, so right around 10-50 feet per second, give or take. Whatever this particular bullet design has, it is very advantageous against aramid fibers and polyethylene, even in our rigid form. To be clear, a lot of the aftermarket full metal jackets that are offered from like Detroit Ammo Co. and some of the other ones, unless they specify, they're just using a bulk 55 grain full metal jacket, and it doesn't have the right jacket thickness to penetrate. Hopefully I'm not being too verbose today. This has quite a bit of drop on it, so this should be in the center of the plate somewhere. 1067. Shouldn't have heard any crack coming off that. Just to be a little on the unfair side of this plate, I have a specialty 9mm load that is commercially available, and it is a solid copper load. It's the Fort Scott Munitions 80 grain solid copper spun load. It likes to tumble in ballistics gel. This in the past has been very good at penetrating all types of soft and rigid 3A as well. We have a 4-inch Glock 19 Gen 4 MOS, got a holo sun up top, got the Apex enhanced trigger in here. Figured we'd shoot this and then go see what we did, and then step up to our Magnum threats. All right, a lot of shots on our plate. I'm trying to make sure I keep these somewhat consolidated so we're not taking a whole bunch of time. But here was our 198 5.7 shots right here and here. Here was our SB 193. Here was our Fort Scott Munitions from the Glock. Here's our Black Dragon Fang. Here's our American Eagle TMJ. Here's our Liberty Civil Defense shots number 1. And where's that other one? Number 2. Here was our L7A1 shots number 1 and 2. The nice thing about our 3A is we can place all these hits on here, and I can pretty much know where they're at, whereas our rifle rated plates, they tend to break apart rather easily, and then I can't see what's going on. Place those bets in the comments below. R.A.N.G.E. We have a penetration from the Black Dragon Fang, as well as our SB 193. Like I said, that's very special round. You can see it pretty much just punches a hole straight through there. We'll have to confirm on our Liberty Civil Defense up here. I keep wanting to say that wrong, but it looks like it just kind of pushed the plate there. There's the round, so it stopped it, but what it did is it kind of like pushed the fabric and the polyethylene around a little bit, but there is the round right there. Not too shabby. Whatever polyethylene that Tactical Scorpion gear is using is doing a pretty darn good job. In the past, our Fort Scott Munitions has penetrated, like I said, polyethylene. So from our 4-inch barrel, it's stopped. And now our final threat for today. The sun has been overcast all day long by the clouds, and I think it's starting to get a little dark outside, so the chronograph might not read. I have our averages for the day since I shot a whole bunch of 3A today, but I have 50 Action Express in our 6-inch Desert Eagle. Lots of energy. I'm picking up a 44 mag barrel for this so we can have that for future testing. This is a 300 grain jacketed soft point. In our other testing, it's really good at putting lots of energy on the plate. It's not going to penetrate very deeply because it's designed to expand. Got our gold magazine here. place this right dead center of the plate, hopefully. Nice, got a velocity off that, and that plate is hurting. Before I show you the plate, I wanted to give you guys a little product highlight. Enter shill mode. This is our Absorbits heavy duty carrying bag for pistols. I do believe they make one for rifles, but it's got our material inside of it that helps wick away moisture so that your guns don't rust. And I kind of was thinking, where could I use this at? And the other day it came in handy where I got all my guns out from my house where it's, you know, 65, 70 degrees and low moisture. Brought them out here to the range when it just rained and it was really humid outside, and the second I took all these guns out of the case, they all became covered in moisture. So when I was done shooting this Desert Eagle, I threw him inside of our case here, and by the time I got home, it kind of wicked away a lot of that moisture so that we're not getting any rust on our gun. Exit shill mode. All right, let's check out this plate. Look at that huge dimple in that plate there. Boom! Like getting punched in the chest by Captain America. Upper hand. Place those bets in the comments below. Ho! No pass-through, folks. But look at that dimple. Woo-wee. That's what she said. Check our back face on our clay. Like I said, this is just a representation. The clay is warm, but it's not to temperature. It's got to be about 103 degrees. You drop a ball on it and check the depth. We're looking for less than 44 millimeters. That is 48 in an actual NIJ test. That could be more, but again, 50 AE is above and beyond the 44 mag threat rating. Impressive. And like I said, with polyethylene, you could probably place a few more shots on this plate, but it's gone limp now, so it's time to tear it apart. Time for our tear down. Our confirmed only penetrations were on the Black Dragon Fang and the SB 193. The largest dimple, of course, is from our 50 AE. I'm not sure if this plate is pressed in a giant press or not, or if it's just autoclaved with heat and vacuum to form it, because it seems like it's fairly flexible now after taking those hits, and some of the other rigid 3A that we shot today remained fairly rigid. There's a little bit of foam on the outside edges to help protect against any drops, although for polyethylene it's kind of a moot point, but it is appreciated that they do include that on the outside. And there's just all of our layers of polyethylene here, if I can get it out. Oh wow, this one's interesting. Here is our jacketed soft point from our 50 AE. Look at how big that expanded. It's like a little mushroom top. I save a lot of these and end up sending them to Jason over at Ballistic Impressions or Jonathan over at Crafted Ballistics, and they make clear acrylic art out of them. So if you guys are looking for any talking pieces or whatever, or like paperweight or something, go check them out. Otherwise, this is just all polyethylene, and that's all she wrote. Well, folks, I hope you had as much fun as I did blowing holes in this armor. Tactical Scorpion gear is well known, but I do think they're kind of a hidden gem. Not a lot of people know about them. We've tested their level 4 and their 3+ Extreme in the past, and both of those plates performed very well. I was very impressed with the construction of our 3+ Extreme, how we had that fragmentation built into the front of it to help control any of that getting out of the plate. I think this particular plate didn't do too bad. I'm not sure, again, if it's pressed or not. That's when we need the manufacturer to tell us how they actually bond all the layers together. But it pretty much stopped all of our standard threats and then some. Our Black Dragon Fang and the SB 193 are obviously, you know, outside of the purview of the NIJ. If you all are interested in picking anything up from Tactical Scorpion gear, I have a discount code, which is Armor King, and essentially that is an affiliate code, so any purchase you make costs you nothing extra, and it gives a little kickback to me. I'm gonna get the heck out of here because it's starting to rain. I made it the whole day without any rain, and as we're doing the closing, it's starting to sprinkle. But at the end of of all my videos, I take a moment to thank all those who help make these possible. Number 1 is my Patreon and Subscribe Star fans. Number 2 is Tactical Scorpion Gear, again, who in full transparency sent us that plate to do with as we please with no strings attached. And of course, number 3 is you all for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you at the range.